Young, and I'm here with Tone the Boss here at T1 Entertainment Studios in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Today we're going to talk about Tone and his career and all these projects that you've got going on, and a lot of new and exciting things that we'll get into as well. Talking about the new album, the Antonio album.
Yes.
Obviously, for those who don't know, your government name is Antonio, but talk about the album and what it means to you and how you got the idea to make it and all that other stuff.
Yeah. So the Antonio album is something very different for me. For the longest, Tone the Boss has been a character that I created. It was an outlet for everything from aggression to storytelling to just really entertainment. So Tone the Boss was an entertainer. This Antonio album is me and Antonio Chalmers, not Tone the Boss.
Right.
It's all true story from start to finish. 2020 was a rough year for everybody.
Yeah.
And one thing that I think is music is our way of documenting history. So I wanted to basically document what 2020 was to everyone else, but also I went through a lot of personal hardships and a lot of changes in my life that was unexpected that year as well. So even the album cover is me reading the book of Antonio to my daughter. This is something that was really tough for me, and I want her to understand later, where everything came from.
So also too, I know you and I were talking, and you said also too that like, just because you went through it and you're writing about it and you're performing about it and you're releasing these tracks about it, like there's a lot of music in this album that people can relate to. Because I think, like you said, 2020 was a terrible year for everybody, but you have relatable music. Yes, you went through all these things and you're writing them from your perspective, but there's a lot of music that I can relate to. There's different, parts of songs that I can take from and be like, oh man, I want to do that too,
Yep.
So
I use a lot of the music on the Antonio album, not really just to tell my story, but it's to tell the story of the unspoken. I've received some great feedback, and I won't reveal names or anything, but some of the people were saying this is my exact story as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the courage to put it out there the way you did.
Right.
I would never reveal as much as you did, but I thank you for doing that. And this is my jam because of it. Like This is not just Antonio's story. This is a lot of people's story. It's not an album. I guess you can say that there's a lot of exposing in the album, and it's not just me exposing other people. I expose myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I become very vulnerable with the music, and it's the first time I've ever done that. One of my favorite genres is rock, and I experimented with a rock song on the album. But most people, I was afraid to address that side of me.
Right.
So I got to play around, and instead of doing this music for an audience, I really did it for myself. Music is truly my therapy, and it helped me get through the toughest time of my life.
All right, that's what's up. There's tons of music on there. How many tracks are on there?
20 tracks.
20 tracks. So a lot to pick from. What are some of the songs that you either feel like those are the most important songs to you, or just the ones that maybe they're not important to you per se, but maybe they're just the ones that you're like, I think the fans will like that.
Yeah. So the intro track, Antonio Story, featuring Antonio Lamar, that is probably the most important song to me. It really gives a prelude to what the album is to bring. I subliminally threw some of the song titles within that story to kind of sum it up, but also tell you what to expect. So that one is one of my realest tracks on there. But the other ones, like the songs Free, which we did a video to, and Stuck Inside, I didn't do those for the public to hear. I really did those just to get that stuff off of my chest. Stuck Inside, I kind of made it to where it can relate to other people. We were all stuck inside, quarantine. It was boring. We're going crazy. So if I just rap about going crazy, that doesn't do it justice. I had to do something crazy, which was me trying to sing rock, which I had no business doing. But you know, that's what quarantine does to people, and then everything else going on in my life. And then Free, I wrote that just as hope that one day we'll be past this pandemic. We can have the mask off. We can be out and be free, honestly. And that one just caught traction out of nowhere.
Free was the song that I was like, oh man, like that was the one I think I like hit you up. I was like, where did this come from?
Yep.
I absolutely love it. Where did you find this new, like, because I mean, everything that I've known you for the last almost 10 years, not more, has always been like rap and, you know, like just not in that pocket of music.
Yeah.
So Free was just like this new kind of fresh breath of air for you as an artist. And I was like, wow, man, like, you know, and some people are like, well, I don't know if I like it. It's not tone. But I was like, why can't it be tone?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Why can't it be tone? That is a whole different vibe that he's giving. And it was, yes, you were talking about the pandemic in its worst ways, but you were also talking about the pandemic and the hopes of.
Exactly.
And I thought it was pretty cool. That was like one of my favorites. I do love Antonio's story though, featuring Antonio Lamar. So he's an amazing R&B singer.
He is.
Why don't you tell everybody where they can find Antonio's, the album, the Antonio album?
Yeah. So the Antonio album you can find on all streaming platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora. It's actually even on YouTube. Each track is available. My social media is all at Tone DaBoss, TONEDADOSS. And IG is at DJ Tone DaBoss. I do a little DJing on the side here and there. Yeah, and you know, I'm always sharing my music, sharing my life, sharing my personal stories. You know, one thing that people constantly get on me about, but I think it's what makes me me, is I share my losses. You know, I don't mind talking about my shortcomings or misfortunes. Like, I want people to see, you know, not only am I just like you, I may be in a worse situation than most people. So, you know, when I talk about my wins, like it's an even bigger deal for me because I'm used to losing, and I even have a song about that called Losers.
Yeah, Losers.
Like, it's just, you know, I want to be relatable. I want to help people. I want to inspire people. You know, when I win, it's not just for me. I'm trying to really win for Iowa. I'm trying to really win for the people that are having a hard time. And, you know, I don't shy away from, you know, my struggles. And I know everyone else has their own struggles. Right. They just aren't in a position to talk about them openly. And, you know, people are afraid of being judged. And, you know, that's, you know, I like being free. So, like putting it all out there. 20
songs, the Antonio album. It's out now. They can get it anywhere. You've got your favorite songs, the Antonio Story, Free, even Losers. Do you like? I know we had talked about it, but like Losers. You got the rock track. So there's pretty much something for everybody.
It is.
So
it definitely is.
I'm excited to see how it does. It just came out, so everybody go grab it. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be right back with more Tone DaBoss.
It's Toe. Yeah, welcome to my new